bila diumumkan dan kita tengok pada poster kan, pengumuman bantuan sebanyak RM500, dalam poster tu sebenarnya dia tidak nyatakan berapa lah, tapi apa yang saya sangat tertarik ialah apabila dikatakan antara syarat kelayakannya adalah pendapatan per kapita 2,000 ke bawah.
Macam mana kita nak tentukan bertauliah atau tidak? I mean, I think it's very good. Sebab maknanya diorang tidak akan, keluarga-keluarga tidak akan mencari atau mendapatkan intervensi daripada tempat-tempat yang sepatutnya mungkin belum layak jugalah untuk memberikan intervensi.
Sebenarnya we have to be aware of the age group. Kalau dari umur 4 dan ke bawah, memang yang daftarnya JKM. So ibu bapa boleh memintakan pendaftaran JKM. Selepas umur 4, then it becomes Ministry of Education.
Salam sejahtera dan selamat datang ke episod terkini Kita Family Podcast. Di podcast ini, kami akan membincangkan perihal yang berkaitan dengan makna serta kepentingan hidup bermasyarakat, menghargai keunikan serta kepelbagaian sesama kita dan meraihkan masyarakat yang berbilang agama, kaum, kepercayaan rupa dan juga keupayaan. Kita menghargai hidup secara inklusif yang mengambil kira keperluan segenap lapisan masyarakat, terutama bagi mereka yang kurang atau berkelainan upaya. Hari ini merupakan episod milestone untuk kami di Kita Family. Hari ini kita merekodkan episod ke-50. Kami di Kita Family mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua supporter-supporter penonton kami yang setia. Thank you so much. We will not be here without you. Hari ini kita berempat dari Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Kita ada Puan Nik Nadia Nik Muhammad Yusof.
Amboi. Hari ni full name
hari ni kita introduce. Hari ni kita introduce semua full names ya.
Baiklah,
dan bersama-sama saya di studio Dr. Choi Sukwen.
Apa khabar?
Dan Puan Nori Abdullah Badawi.
Hai, Assalamualaikum.
Dan Datin Anik Randawa tidak dapat bersama-sama kami hari ini.
Oh, you datin her.
Yes, I did. Saya berani datinkan Anik hari ini kerana dia tidak ada di sini. We love you Anik and we miss you. And saya Puan Desiree Kaur. See, I puaned myself. So, it's fair lah. It's fair. Kita ni sangat adil. Satu lagi pengumuman yang sangat penting dan juga milestone untuk kami. Episod ini ditaja oleh our first sponsor, iaitu Abundant Ventures.
Terima kasih.
Abundant Ventures, thank you very much for trusting us to be, to sponsor our episode, to be our first sponsor, and we are pleased to tell our audience a little bit about you. Abundant Ventures is a multifaceted social enterprise based in Kuala Lumpur, supporting Malaysian communities. They are committed to food security, the environment and sustainability. So to find out more about what they do, please visit their website at abundantventures.org.
Yes, a proud Malaysian social enterprise helping Malaysians.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Terima kasih ya kami rakamkan. Manalah nak sangka tiba-tiba dah sampai pada tahap ini, sanggup ada orang taja.
Absolutely.
Kita
sangat-sangat bersyukur. We are
Thank you AV. Thank you so much.
Thank you AV.
Okay, so hari ni topik kita ialah bagaimana untuk manage cost of intervention atau cost intervensi dalam budget yang sangat limited, kan? And this is the reality of many of us. Tak kisahlah whether it's from B40 or middle income. I think now with rising cost of living, everybody's feeling the pinch, kan? Dan kita pernah sebenarnya discuss topik ni sedikit sedikit dalam episod ke-16
dan kita akan terus membincangkan dalam topik episod-episod yang akan datang from time to time lah.
Absolutely.
Sebab kadang-kadang akan ada program yang mungkin kita akan ceritakan, tapi itu untuk masa yang tertentu. So for example, one of them we're going to talk about today, right?
Yes,
And
correct.
it will finish at a certain point in time. So we will do several episodes, I think, whenever we're going to talk about
Managing cost.
managing costs and where to specifically get resources lah for yourself, your child, your family. Kan? Neurodivergent families. Yeah, sorry, I jumped in because I wanted to say that I can't remember if we had mentioned that we are going to keep doing this from time to time.
Absolutely. So it's not to say repeating topik yang sama, tetapi this will always be a current topic. I think certain topics will end up being current topics like bantuan. Kan setiap tahun or every 6 months, every quarter ada je bantuan yang berbeza. So as much as possible we will keep our viewers updated. Sama juga dengan managing costs. This is not it is very fluid. Managing costs is a very fluid thing that happen. It's always a current topic. Kan? So dalam episod ke-16 we've talked a little bit about tax relief, bantuan zakat, a few foundations macam Zuci and Anis, the financial aids, Permata Kurnia. We even talk about We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym, dan buying tools for kids at cheaper or I remember specifically I mentioned pasal beli di Shopee, shop around for the cheaper tools before you want to invest in bigger ones. Kan? So to jump to today's topic, hari ni sebenarnya topik diinspirasikan oleh pengumuman dari Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat OJKM, di mana kerajaan memperuntukkan subsidi bagi kanak-kanak autisme yang sedang atau bakal mengikut pembelajaran di Pusat Terapi Pembelajaran dan Terapi yang bertauliah.
Yeay.
So mereka yang layak dan apply boleh mendapat subsidi sebanyak RM500 sebagai one off. Ya, so sekarang jom kita pergi ke Didi di Kota Kinabalu untuk mengulaskan sedikit tentang subsidi ini.
Okay, thank you Desiree. Bila diumumkan dan kita tengok pada poster kan, pengumuman bantuan sebanyak RM500. Dalam poster tu sebenarnya dia tidak nyatakan berapa lah, tapi apa yang saya sangat tertarik ialah apabila dikatakan antara syarat kelayakannya adalah pendapatan per kapita 2,000 ke bawah. Jadi dia tidak seperti kalau sebelum ni mungkin ada yang mengikut, kalau ikut tax bracket tu dia ada kan tahap-tahap how many that you earn per household, but this one instead of saying macam untuk B40 saja, tapi ini ikut per kapita. Maksudnya kalau household you ramai, even kalau pendapatan keluarga tu 10,000 tapi you ada 5 orang, you dah layak. Kalau you ada lebih lagi, you lebih ramai orang dengan pendapatan sekian-sekian, you layak lah. Jadi dia membuatkan lebih ramai lagi yang akan eligible, layak untuk mendapat bantuan ni. Dan ini kiranya kalau selama ni kan mungkin ramai yang especially M40 yang pertengahan ni tak puas hati sebab mereka mungkin tak dapat tax relief sebab belum sampai level, dapat tax relief tapi mungkin tak banyak ataupun terhad lah kan. Jadi dengan bantuan ni tambahan lah tax relief pun dapat, ataupun mereka yang sebenarnya tak sampai level you perlu bayar tax pun, so you tak bayar tax, tak ada relief kan. You tak ada relief, so you tak dapat lah bantuan tu. Jadi ini adalah satu tambahan di mana ramai lagi yang boleh apply. Dan sebenarnya tadi Desiree kata kanak-kanak, tapi yang menariknya mungkin sebab selalu kita fikirkan kanak-kanak ialah 12 tahun ke bawah, tapi sebenarnya syarat kelayakan dia kanak-kanak untuk JKM sehingga berumur 18 tahun. So sebenarnya remaja pun boleh apply juga. Dan saya suka satu lagi syarat di mana kalau ada lebih daripada seorang anak autistik dalam keluarga tu, 2 orang, 3 orang pun boleh apply. Dia tidak hadkan kepada satu orang, satu keluarga saja. So itu sangat menarik sebab macam contoh saya sendiri pun ada 2 orang anak autistik kan. It's a reality. Dia bukan macam jarang-jarang ada keluarga yang ada anak lebih daripada seorang yang ada yang autistik. So bantuan ni saya lihat agak menyeluruh. Cumanya sebab dia punya pendaftaran pun walaupun sebulan, bukan pendaftaran, maksudnya permohonan 1 hingga 28 Februari, 24 minggu, tapi agak macam mungkin akan menjadi kekangan kepada mereka yang belum lagi menyertai ataupun anak yang menghadiri mana-mana center. Kalau dia sudah memang dah masuk center, okay lah, you just apply lah, you already dah, anak you dah belajar kat sana kan. Jadi subsidi tu akan mengurangkan kos you untuk bulan tertentu lah. Bulan tersebut mungkin kalau selama ni kita bayar 800, jadi bulan tu you dah dapat subsidi tinggal 300, ataupun mungkin you prorate-kan untuk setahun ke center tu, akan buatlah macam mana pengubahsuaian supaya macam 500 tu dibahagikan kepada 6 bulan ke, itu atas budi bicara lah. Tapi untuk mereka yang belum lagi menghadiri mana-mana pusat terapi swasta ni, jadi dalam masa 4 minggu ni kan you nak apply dengan, memang kita rasa macam kalau di PDK terhad, di hospital terhad, ada swasta, tapi hakikatnya pusat swasta pun limited juga spots dia kan.
Yes.
Jadi dekat situ mungkin akan menjadi satu struggle jugalah.
Didi, lu nak tanya, definisi bertauliah, boleh tak ceritakan sikit macam mana kita nak tentukan bertauliah atau tidak? I mean, I think it's very good. Sebab maknanya diorang tidak akan, keluarga-keluarga tidak akan mencari atau mendapatkan intervensi daripada tempat-tempat yang sepatutnya mungkin belum layak jugalah untuk memberikan intervensi. Ada yang mungkin usaha atau program mereka bagus, tetapi kita tak tahu, and itulah sebabnya kena ada benda-benda seperti tauliah, lesen, all this lah kan, secara rasmi kan. So ini at least mengesyorkan lah kepada parents. Tapi macam mana kita nak pastikan ada kesenarai yang JKM bagi juga di tempat-tempat yang considered bertauliah ni? What do you think?
I heard that certain JKM negeri pun ada yang baru bermesyuarat untuk membuat listing macam contoh Pulau Pinang, I dengar baru nak meeting dan akan buat, but this is like of course by the time kita punya episode ni publish, they already have the list lah, I'm sure. So dia tauliah ni ada banyak peringkat lah. Satu dari segi dia sebagai pusat, tapi pusat tu adakah dia daycare ke, dia satu pusat
pendidikan khas,
pendidikan khas ke, ataupun adakah dia therapy center. So dia, kalau dia sekolah, dia tidak berdaftar dengan JKM, dia berdaftar dengan MOE. Kalau dia daycare, taska, dia berdaftar dengan JKM. Jadi kat situ pun kita tak sure lagi apa dia punya mekanisme, tapi yang membuatkan kita akan yakin jika center, sebab beberapa hari lalu sebenarnya dah mula center-center ni memberi borang kepada existing client, keluarga-keluarga yang telah menjadi klien kan?
Yes.
Borang, jadi you boleh apply. Jadi bila mereka menawarkan borang tu, maksudnya mereka adalah tersenarai dalam senarai JKM. Mereka sudah termasuk dalam senarai JKM, dan kita pun bolehlah yakin yang mereka adalah center yang bertauliah dan dengan kualiti dan berdaftar lah. Bila berdaftar ni, berdaftar maksudnya mereka mengikut all these regulations, guidelines. Tidaklah macam sesuka hati, ataupun bila tidak berdaftar, pusat yang kita tak ada nak kata haram, tapi pusat yang tak berdaftar ni kita pun tak tahu kan, sama ada, kalau ada dari segi keselamatan, dari segi kemahiran guru-guru dia kan, itu antara yang kita perlu titik beratkan lah.
Let me just add to that kan. Sebenarnya we have to be aware of the age group. Kalau dari umur 4 dan ke bawah, memang yang daftarnya JKM. So ibu bapa boleh memintakan pendaftaran JKM. Selepas umur 4, then it becomes Ministry of Education. So ini semuanya dalam sistem kami refer balik ke umur anak-anak tu, takat mana dia bersekolah, ataupun episod yang lalu kami ada bincangkan kalaulah dia ada early intervention dan ada terapisnya dari Julai ni, bulan Julai tahun ni, terapisnya perlu pun didaftarkan dengan BSKB, bahagian bersekutu sains KKM, ya.
So ni melibatkan satu lagi kementerian juga kan?
Betul. So sebenarnya buat masa ni is very encouraging lah, that dalam kesemua ni the quality of the care of the services all come together. So it's very encouraging dalam untuk applykan this allocation. This word bertauliah is put there, is to remind all of us that the quality of service is what the government is also supporting.
So another point tentang subsidi ini dan bagaimana untuk buat permohonan. Permohonan ni sebenarnya is melalui center, bukan kita sendiri yang apply melalui JKM. So I think that's one important point to remind parents, caregivers. So the school, you get the form from the school or laman web JKM, isi borang sekolah yang hantarkan kepada
Ini
JKM.
pun cara untuk pusat-pusat mendapat tauliah yang belum dapat tauliah kan. Kalau tidak, dia orang tak
betul.
boleh lah
Correct.
menawarkan benda-benda macam ni. So it's like there's a multi-tiered effort macam kakak ada sebut tadi kan. It's like yalah, ada
Membangunkan quality.
Yes, ada perkembangan dari segi pembangunan kualiti perkhidmatan, intervensi, all. So it's actually quite nice how it's all coming together.
Yep.
Program ni kalau tak silap berapa bajet keseluruhannya dan apakah target jumlah pemohon?
Didi, do you want to answer that?
Okey, JKM mensasarkan 30,000 orang kanak-kanak. Jadi bila 30,000 darab dengan 500 comes out to, betul tak matematik, 15 juta?
Yes.
And this was susulan belanjawan.
Betul?
Yes, belanjawan 2025.
Budget 20.
Yeah.
Budget, yes.
That budget had a lot of good things in there for neurodivergence and autism especially kan.
Absolutely.
No, this is only for autism, Nori.
Yeah, but
Autism
there
ada.
was, I think, but in the budget there were things that were mentioned for autism specific paling banyak lah kan. But I think there were a few line items that covered you know, like sort of OKU, pembelajaran and things like that, if I'm not mistaken, right? If it was broken down. But that's good. 30,000 people. You guys think this will be taken up very fast?
I believe.
I hope
Yeah.
so. Based
I
on
hope so. Tapi my concern is the sports, because I think you kena ada sport lah kan, sebab borang tu dihantar melalui sekolah. Jadi you perlu dapatkan sports di sekolah, di pusat tersebut. You dapat sport, lepas tu barulah sekolah itu hantarkan borang you. Kalau sekolah tu
It's like you dah memang kena berdaftar dululah and then claim balik or certain things like that kan. Sebab kita dah kena memang you have to already be somebody who belongs to the centre. Right? You have to be somebody that
But
already
then
belongs to
or already
to the place.
registered lah.
Pelanggan.
Pelanggan lah. You dah memang
Pelanggan.
you are pelanggan lah. Ya,
Ataupun
betul.
murid. Pelanggan
yes.
ataupun murid lah.
Ya, betul. Ya.
So interesting the number target 30,000, and we look at the statistics from JKM as of June 2024, there are 60,217 registered with autism
Okay.
in Malaysia. So if we look at the stats, it's agak-agak half-ish of registered lah. Half-ish of registered. We know the number is probably higher. And the other interesting thing pasal this subsidi, my personal observation, mechanics dia sebenarnya is very similar to the one that Selangor Anis has been doing all these years. And I think this is where I want to credit learning from each other lah. Kan? So Anis has done quite a good job over this few years. We have, my family personally, we have benefited twice from Anis. They also have evolved over the years on how to apply and the mechanics and all that. Tetapi I think the fact that the Selangor state government was brave enough to start, perhaps ini pun menjadi satu contohlah kepada JKM that is been done before with success, kan? So I just wanted to highlight that.
I think this is a good time to also mention, masa kita menceritakan tentang program-program yang ada di sini, I think it's worth mentioning that semua program-program seperti ini akan tertakluk kepada terma-terma dan syarat-syarat tertentu. So I would just also like to say as a disclaimer lah, bagi kita di Kita Family Podcast, kita buat masa ni kita berkongsi tentang apa-apa program perkhidmatan, bantuan and all that yang insyaAllah dapat membantu. Tetapi badan, organisasi ke mana-mana yang sebenarnya yang menawarkan right, bantuan and things like that, they are the ones yang kata putus lah, they will have the final say. Dan mungkin akan ada apa-apa perubahan, macam selalunya kita akan harapkan bahawa tarikh permohonan akan dilanjutkan, for example. Kan, sebab buat masa ni is hujung bulan ni, as we go on air, right? As we go on air ni tinggal beberapa minggu je lagi untuk memohon sebenarnya. So we hope that a lot of people do watch this episode. Tapi untuk sesiapa yang mungkin menonton episod ni, the point to make is that keep a lookout lah, as Desiree mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Ini bukan, insyaAllah ini bukan kali terakhir kita akan mendapat bantuan terutama daripada kerajaan pusat atau mungkin kerajaan negeri. So the same, we're gonna keep talking about a few other things, but nak minta ialah supaya ibu bapa siapa-siapa yang mendengar ambil maklum ya, semak balik, tengoklah kadang-kadang kriteria akan berubah, akan ada benda-benda yang akan berubah lah dari masa ke semasa. So we will share directly lah the source, and that should be the one that will tell you apa. Jangan kata rujuk pada kita pula.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to try our best to do it, but I think we should mention that you must always check. Yeah, you must always check. And I think it's if I may, can you actually elaborate more on the Anis program? Maybe some new viewers, newly diagnosed, or ada yang tak tahu actually.
Okay,
can we talk about that, or some of the things that are happening in Selangor, so Lembah Kelang?
Boleh. So Anis has been around for a couple of years. So ini bantuan ni terbuka kepada ibu bapa yang mempunyai anak istimewa atau anak OKU. So it's not specific to autism. Ya, dan dia ada had maksima sebanyak 5,000 setahun untuk satu keluarga. So at this point of time, saya rasa there isn't any open for application at this time, tetapi kalau pergi ke website mereka, dan biasanya bila keluar the time to apply for any kind of bantuan, memang masuk dalam semua WhatsApp group parents, Autisme Malaysia, Facebook is one of the main sources actually yang boleh dapat this kind of information. So go to their website, nanti kita akan share link kepada Yayasan Anis juga.
One of the best sources of information. One of our sisters is kind of from there. Hello Didi. Looking at you. No, kalau tak kerana Autisme Malaysia, saya dengan Didi tak berkenalan. That's how Kitchen found her. Didi adalah contoh antara yang pernah masih berterusan, tapi pada masa tu sanggup memberikan in a way the perkhidmatan dan bantuan yang dapat yang memang menyokong ibu bapa. Because under AM she used to give free workshops.
Betul.
Yeah. So this thing will always continue happening, and you really need to, that's one of the things, that's one of the resources that you need to really keep a lookout for.
So nanti lepas break kita akan bincang sedikit on that, on what else we can do to educate ourselves, right? What else we can do
Maybe
within
before
limited
break,
budget?
maybe before break, can I talk about that bit a little bit?
Sure,
That's the
silakan.
part I'm
Yep,
I am the most
Go for
passionate
it.
about, I would say. Okay. Bagi saya, bila kita mulalah sebagai our group, all the sisters, KFam, kita membincangkan topik ni, apakah yang mungkin dapat kita share lah dengan keluarga-keluarga lain, terutama apabila berada dalam satu keadaan di mana sumber, especially keuangan lah, segala jenis apa-apa pun yang diperlukan terhad. Right? So what is it we can do? Because antara benda-benda yang membuatkan kita agak berat menerima berita tentang anak kita yang lain dari yang lain, usually is not just about katalah diagnosis tentang keadaan dan situasi mereka, tapi dengan sekelip, like I don't know, it's just tak tahu macam mana nak sebut pun, like antara benda yang akan terus terlintas pada fikiran kita, the big worries that gonna come straight away is keuangan. Kerana ini adalah sesuatu yang mungkin di luar masyarakat kita pun lazim juga orang tahu benda ni, situasi ni, di mana bahawa apabila kita mempunyai seorang anak OKU, anak yang neurodivergent, anak yang it's not typical, anak yang memerlukan sokongan tambahan, memerlukan mungkin so many other different things and ada implikasi. So it's so hard. So I think for me it was antara nasihat lah, it was an advice, antara nasihat semasa Timur menerima diagnosis dulu, and then ini untuk semua, tetapi lebih utama dalam keadaan di mana kita rasa kita punya budget limited dan kita tidak mampu, siapa-siapalah dalam keadaan seperti itu, I think we recognise, we are so lucky. I always know that like our family, syukur alhamdulillah, which is why I think we feel that we want to do as much as we can supaya anak-anak yang lain pun mungkin akan dapat antara peluang yang Timur dapat, and that is training. Continuing education, training untuk parents terutamanya, tapi keluarga lah, keluarga, parents atau caregiver, inilah yang kita harus utamakan dari segi sesuatu yang dapat membantu anak kita, sama ada khususnya dari segi, kalau kita nak gunakan perkataan intervensi, pendidikan and things like that, it can actually go to that kind of tahap. Silalah ambil berat tentang ni pendidikan yang berterusan, supaya kita dapat lebih memahami keadaan situasi anak kita dan kita dapat membantu. So this is the one, kira macam kita buat pelaburan lah. So kalau apa-apa kita fikirkan memang where do you put your resources? Where do you put that little money that you have? Kalau kita tengah buat budget tu, fikirkanlah bagaimana nak memastikan kita gunakan untuk latihan untuk diri kita sendiri. Untuk diri kita, I'm not talking about the training or therapy of your kid. But when you are trained, kalaupun kita tak boleh memanggil diri kita sebagai pakar terapi, tetapi kita boleh melakukan aktiviti terapi yang boleh membantu anak kita. So training, and ada training of course yang memerlukan pelaburan dan perbelanjaan yang kadang-kadang agak tinggi. Ada training yang beribu harga dia, but I feel like ada antaranya yang memang berbaloi. You should definitely do it. Dan kalau memang betul-betul kita di dalam satu keadaan di mana tak mampu, really doesn't matter kalau it's the training is RM50 tu pun berat, kita kena berusaha lah, like macam some of you have mentioned already today, join lah online community mana-mana yang banyak berkongsi tentang apa-apa peluang untuk kita belajar, free bengkel ke, kadang-kadang ada seminar, kadang-kadang masuk Zoom online and all this, and kita tak perlukan laptop sebab kita ada telefon.
Yes.
Kalau Malaysia
Betul,
ni
betul.
Malaysia di mana-mana tempat seluruh Malaysia lah, kita punya smartphone rate ni sangat tinggi. Itu sekurang-kurangnya ada lah, so selain daripada kita nak menonton benda-benda hiburan dekat YouTube tu, bolehlah kita buka YouTube untuk cari benda-benda yang kita boleh belajar untuk anak kita. And you can do things like lepas tu belilah gym ball. Gym ball ni dekat kalau nak beli online, tunggulah sale, jualan murah apa-apa semua, kerap kali berlaku. So then kita pandailah cari benda-benda macam ni dan kita gunakan apa yang kita belajar sendiri untuk membantu anak kita sendiri. So training really, if you have this. And I think kalau orang nak tanya contoh training, I would like to highlight one contoh training. Dan memang yang recommend is definitely the one yang I think memang among us wajarlah title dia dulu di masa kat Facebook Autism Malaysia punya community, in charge of education and education kan Didi? Memang pendidikan mesti tu exco, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Didi basically was just telling us, she specifically pujuk Desiree and me, I think, because masa tu kebetulan kita orang berjumpa. She said, you guys need to go to spell training. SPELL. Now I pun tak tahu macam mana, dah hampir kira at that time I think 10 tahun dah perjalanan timur. Macam tu kenapa kita belum dengar pasal spell? Now spell is more it has been more widely used in the UK, and I find that a lot of autism things in Malaysia ni very US centric. Kalau kita tengok ada benda-benda, betul tak Kakak?
Betul.
Right?
Betul,
I
memang
mean, you
betul.
are in this field
Yes.
and area. So when spell came about, and I was thinking, and then I think Desiree and I, we looked at each other, we're like, kita ni dah train to death. Like kita dah segala macam jenis training, and si Desiree ni dah ada masters dalam pendidikan khas, okay? So it's like dah ada sarjana dalam pendidikan. So it's like, okay, why is Didi telling us to go? It must be important, right? It must be important, and I think it was. And I went with Encik Swami, and also like one of the members of Team Timur, so there was like three of us went together, and then Desiree and I sat down, we're like, let's go together lah. And then Didi
I got
at that
nudged.
time got nudged, yes, instead of being the nudger. And then I think Didi also decided to just get herself involved as like parent yang pernah melalui spell course. And the two people who bertauliah to do spell in this country are two that I know of, are two amazing ladies. I feel so blessed and privileged to know them, the two spell trainers. So it's Dr. Zahila, who was part of Sungai Buloh's ARC. She set up the autism program there for Hospital Sungai Buloh. And she's also with ACE, right? So there's a private centre. So a lot of our amazing, of course, doctors in Malaysia, they work everywhere. Dr. Budak, I think she was, is that right? Was she with Dr. Budak
Yes,
before?
yes.
Yes. So Dr. Zahila is, and so there's Dr. Zahila and there's Jacqueline Ang.
Parent.
Now,
Yeah.
if you need Jacqueline Ang, how do I describe her? She's going to watch this and she's going to say, what are you doing? Tapi dia memang seorang yang telah menjadi consultant lah. Dia ibu sendiri, anak dia antara anak-anak ni seorang punya autism, and we've read some things from her before, episode kita tentang apa akan terjadi kalau kita pergi pada suatu hari. One of the inspirations was writing what Jacqueline Ang said about, right? And so she's a parent, but she also has done a masters in autism, so many different things. Tapi kalau nak spell kursus spell sepenuhnya bersama dengan sijil yang memberikan kita status sebagai practitioner, that means lepas ini layak untuk menggunakan program spell, then you have to go for Dr. Zahila's programs. So Jack and Dr. Zahila do work together, but the one who regularly will do a spell program Open kepada parents, open kepada also professionals. I love the fact that doctors are coming for this. You know, kadang-kadang kita ingat doktor ni pakar segala-galanya, but it's not really true. Even kalau kita sebut, we've mentioned before, right, pediatricians, they can be expert in certain areas related to children, tapi tak semestinya diorang faham tentang permasalahan dari segi, you know, perkembangan, you know, seseorang kanak-kanak when we are looking at things like disabilities, intellectual, you know, conditions, learning disabilities. Not all pediatricians are going to be able to know how to handle that, right? But when this spell course happens, like all these different doctors, a lot of them pediatricians of course, but other doctors came, so it's like, you know, macam continuous learning for them. So that's just one example, and you know, sanggup nak sebut lah sebab sendiri pun dah pernah pergi. Well, a few of us here have gone for a, you know, spell course, and I think we know the people involved, we know the quality of it, and our spell trainers have direct connection to the people who make the program. Dan kenapa spell ni menarik sangat? Sebab antaranya for me, it was when they designed the program, they spoke to autistics. Autistic people were part of how to create the framework. Spell is a framework. Maknanya kalau framework ni kita boleh gunakan sebagai rujukan kalau kita nak membuat intervensi atau program yang lain dengan anak-anak kita. Kita tahu kita boleh merujuk pada benda ni. Itu satu, that was one of the menarik things lah. But actually ultimately amongst why this program was just meaningful to me is dia memfokuskan kepada individu itu sendiri. So it's person centered. That means you really have to look at that person. So it's not just like, okay lah, untuk semua orang autistik kita boleh buat macam ni. That's not how it works. Dia tak akan bagi kita like, okay, this is the step by step secara khusus untuk semua orang autistik. No, it's a framework, right? So you have to put in the work and the effort for it lah. But it works really well with so many other things. So kalau katalah pada tahap anak kita dapat IEP ke, dia ada intervensi lain, terapi yang lain, semua kita boleh tengok macam mana it will fit really nicely together. So I'm giving one very specific recommendation. I'm sure there will be more spell trainers coming out, because that is antara you know, these two fine ladies have decided that they also want to see how many more trainers that can happen. But the full proper course for spell, and we will put it nanti dalam show notes, dalam rujukan kita juga, is with Dr. Zah.
And I believe she's already or in the process of also translating it to BM, and so it will be conducted in BM as well. By Dr. Zahila.
And more, right? And more, because that's what she wants to do. You know, and they work together. So if you come across and then tak tahulah macam mana, mungkin ada, you know, one situation, or you come across, you know, Jacqueline Ang for example, you can do that course with her too. But even she will say full course, and the regularity bila benda ni akan, you know, khusus ni akan diadakan, and you see Dr. Zah. Thank you Didi sebab pujuk I dengan Desiree pergi. It was good. It was good. There was a lot of things that we felt. I remember the two things you said was exactly right. Satu, dia akan memberi kita keyakinan tentang benda-benda yang kita dah pelajari selama ini yang memang membantu. So it will affirm what we know, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff where we felt, I think Desiree and I were like, wow, we feel like we are good students in this class. We know already this part. But then ada benda-benda yang, you know, kita belum mungkin terdedah kepada benda tu sebelum ini. Newer things, because they also keep updating themselves. There will always be, and so also I think it's because of the trainer. Dr. Zah herself likes to keep updated about things that are happening. Then kita akan belajar benda tu, and it's very like, oh wow, and it's like put together really nicely, which is what you told us lah, Didi, kan? Like it's a nice way of everything being presented together. We found a way to pull in every single thing lah, and you know, our favorite Kim Bartel, that one Kakak can tell you about, because another place to get a lot of really good training is Oasis Place. Tapi orang Oasis Place tu dekat sini, so I'll let her talk about it lah.
I think let's take a quick break before we come back and
See,
talk
I told you,
more.
sorry, I was so excited about it. Sorry,
It's okay, it's okay. Tak apa, we love you, Nori. No worries. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Hai, salam sejahtera dan selamat kembali ke episod ke-50 Kita Family Podcast. Hari ini kita membincangkan tentang bagaimana untuk manage kos intervensi dan apakah antara bantuan-bantuan yang tersedia untuk kami di Malaysia, dan ada juga perkongsian daripada Nori tentang kepentingan training untuk kita sendiri sebagai parents. Okay, so kita akan sambung sedikit. Tadi kami telah berbincang tentang subsidi daripada JKM yang 500 one off untuk setiap kanak-kanak autism below 18 years old yang layak, okay, tertakluk kepada terma dan syarat. And we also cover a little bit tentang Yayasan Warisan Anis Selangor, Yawas. Ada dua lagi yang kita nak berkongsi sedikit. Saya akan paskan kepada Didi. The first one is allowance murid berkeperluan khas, ini di bawah Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. So maybe Didi boleh ulas sedikit tentang ini?
Okey, kepada semua pelajar murid berkeperluan khas, maksudnya pelajar-pelajar yang ada kad OKU dan bersekolah di sekolah kebangsaan, sama ada PPKI ataupun di aliran perdana walaupun tidak masuk dalam PPKI. Jika anda ada kad OKU, maka boleh memohon bantuan yang diberikan oleh Kementerian Pendidikan sebanyak RM150 sebulan dan lazimnya diberi secara installment 2 kali setahun. So 6 bulan, 6 bulan. Dan sekarang dia telah dipanjangkan kepada kanak-kanak yang berada di pusat permata kunia juga. Jadi anak-anak di permata kunia pun dapat juga RM150 sebulan. So I think sedikit sebanyak memberi bantuan kepada keluarga dan boleh digunakan untuk menghantar anak ke terapi swasta juga ataupun keperluan anak tu sendirilah. Mungkin ada bahan-bahan tertentu yang nak dibeli, bahan-bahan terapi macam trampolin ke, apa yang disuka pun, ataupun selain daripada beli barang, kita boleh gunakan untuk experience, bawa anak ke tempat yang mungkin dia seronok. So sebenarnya bantuan kewangan ni sangat berguna dan boleh dimanfaatkan dengan pelbagai cara lah. Dan saya rasa adalah ini satu harapan lah, sebab kalau mereka yang menghadiri PDK dapat 300 sebulan, mungkin untuk pelajar sekolah di sekolah kerajaan pun boleh diberi sebanyak tu juga. Dan saya rasa installment 6 bulan ni mungkin boleh kalau cuba kurangkan kepada, mungkin kalau bukan setiap bulan, 3 bulan sekali, quarterly. Sebab kadang-kadang mereka ni datang daripada keluarga yang tidak berkemampuan, jadi bila diberi bantuan kewangan tu dengan lebih kerap, duit tu dapat dimanfaatkan dengan lebih baik lah. Itu yang saya rasalah. Jadi dan satu lagi Desiree, shall I talk about Sabah juga?
So before that, just want to add pasal yang allowance ni, this is actually cash to the family. So kalau JKM dengan certain types of Anis punya bantuan, it goes straight to the therapy center. Tapi yang ni, the Kementerian
Masuk ke
Pendidikan
akaun
terus
pelajar.
kepada ibu bapa or caregiver. That's the perbezaan lah.
No,
yang
akaun
Akaun
pelajar actually.
pelajar.
akaun pelajar. So the pelajar kena
yes,
ada
akaun
akaun dia
pelajar
sendiri
sendiri.
walaupun kanak-kanak.
Ya betul. Dia perlu ada akaun sendiri.
Oh, like savings
Memang
account.
syarat dia untuk memohon bantuan, you kena ada
Akaun simpanan.
kena ada account bank untuk anak. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Didi. Dan ada satu lagi kan di Sabah, since Didi sekarang duduk di Sabah, so dia akan berkongsi sedikit tentang bantuan yang ada di sana.
Okay, firstly, before saya umumkan ni, umumkan macam kita.
Drum roll, please.
A big shout
Sempahkan.
out because kita pun dah telah berkenalan dengan community autism advocate di Sabah kan, terutamanya di Kota Kinabalu. Shout out to I would say my new friend Jennifer Balanting and her team, Sabah Autism Society. They had done great job of creating this awareness, getting all these kerajaan, NGO, all these organizations to see the importance of helping autism community in Sabah, especially in Kota Kinabalu. So,
Wah,
yes.
tahniah,
Syabas.
Wow, fantastic.
Well done.
Jen,
Masya
you're
Allah.
doing great. I'm so proud of you. So Sabah government, kerajaan Sabah telah memperuntukkan 2.5 juta pada bajet 2025 untuk melancarkan program collaboration dengan Universiti Malaysia Sabah untuk menjalankan program-program EIP, Intervention Program for Children with Autism, not just EIP lah, Children with Autism. So not just in Kota Kinabalu, Tawau, Sandakan, Kudat dan Beaufort. So it shows that because saya dah kenal kan, it's not, for me it's not just an announcement biasa, because I already know these people behind it. I know how hard they have worked towards this to get sampai level ni kan, sampai macam okay, ada peruntukan khas untuk autism di negeri you. I'm very proud of them. And they are very friendly even from early on. Sebelum I pindah sini lagi, I get to know them. And they have center satu untuk collaboration dengan ASOM, dan ada juga untuk anak-anak yang berumur 12 tahun ke atas, pre-vocational level. So they are doing this Sabah Autism Society, Sabah Autism Society, SAS, they are doing a lot. They are already doing it, and hoping that dengan collaboration UMS pun had been giving lots of advice, lots of help, lots of apa ni juga. That I'm looking forward to see all this progress in Sabah. That the community, autistic community in Sabah, get funded, get more centers, get more projects for us to look forward to. So this is not my work, because sebab I pindah sini, this is all Sabah Autism Society, SAS, and of course UMS as well. UMS also had been doing many projects. In fact, few months ago, there's this called UMS Sunset Run, yang dianjurkan oleh Sabah Autism Society dan UMS. Amy pun ada bagi a little bit of speech during the program.
Yes.
So it shows that they work hand in hand. They work really hard together, and I'm so humbled to see how hard they work lah. Because kan macam kalau dekat KL tu ada banyak group-group, banyak community, tapi bila I pergi kat Sabah, dekat KK ni, I see this particular association and they are doing so much, and I can only see good future lah, insyaAllah.
Ini sangat menggalakkan ya. This is really, I feel excited even as you share too. Because in the states away from Semenanjung, memang kekurangan ya. So now with this community, it also help, of course, direct learning parent to parent. I remember masa saya masuk dalam this community, parents learning from parents too, memang one of the best learning.
That's so cool.
Yes. Yeah, so before we get a little bit more into that as one of the ways of managing costs, so this program yang Didi baru umumkan, I think it's still baru diumumkan kan, so the details memang is still not out there yet, like exactly what it entails, apakah activity. So I think let's all keep a lookout for the information which should be coming our way soon. Okay, with that, sekarang kita akan meneruskan perbincangan tentang bagaimana untuk manage costs and helping our kids kan. So kakak, you want to add on the parent to parent part?
I'll just pick up on this learning, parent to parent learning. I love tadi Nori mention melaburkan, invest in learning, because as a parent, general parenting skill needs to be upskilled to help our neurodiverse children. And buat masa ni, learning from internet, memang there is a lot of information. Yeah, to sharpen that information, then we do it tier by tier lah. Kalau information that is easily and generally available, we can help our child. That is adequate. Bila not adequate, what we do is we go to the next level, maybe the trained teachers. Right? Selepas tahap cikgu-cikgu, then look at the trained professionals, the health carers. So again, our encouragement is I love to learn forward. Belajarlah ke hadapan, if I translate it. Learn forward to see what it can be, and usually from the community. There is many now, especially post-pandemic, banyak online learning yang memang percuma. Memang itu singkat saja, dia sejam je. Tapi I also want to say to parents, try to learn consistently. Kadang-kadang kalau belajar terlalu banyak tapi tak apply pun, it may not benefit our children. So be very careful with our time. Actually, masa ibu bapa for us all is very terhad. All the terhad is not just kewangan. So be very careful to learn. Nori mentioned spell, and there are many approach program. Sila speak to family members, ask the professionals, ask the school teachers. Ramai yang boleh dibuat sendiri. So we say if you can afford a proton, so use the proton. If ada kemampuan yang lebih, then work it that way. But we encourage parents' education. That is the key. Itu kuncinya, untuk anak-anak kami mendapatkan pengasuhan dari ibu bapa sendiri as we upskill. That's very important.
So one thing that I also learned from fellow parents on training, right? So certain trainings kadang-kala yang kita rasa sangat bagus and it's too expensive beyond our means. Ada yang crowd fund for people to help them go for these courses. You can do that. That's one way. Or also, reaching out to family members, friends, and say, hey, people will come and ask, how can I help? So this is one way.
No, also jangan segan nak bertanya kepada yang menganjurkan kursus tu. A lot of the trainers, when you ask suddenly, dia akan bagi discount.
Or you
dia
can do breakup payments.
Exactly. You can do,
installments,
beransur, things like that. You can pay in installments. And a lot, like the international trainers will tell you, where are you from? Or for you, this is the rate. It's don't assume that like sometimes yang itu yang kita tengok cost tu pada apa-apalah poster ke apa-apa, that it might be actually much less than that.
Yes.
I like how you remind us. Memang bila ditajakan ada harganya, because at Oasis,
Oasis does that too, right?
You
help.
We have to put a fee. However, as a penganjur of learning, we always would support parents who are there to learn, or any care
and
partners.
case by case you will consider, right? People just have to reach out.
Our community memang are kind people. Just remember that. Just remember that.
No, so I just this one I just want to selit sikit. It's not on the intervention part, but for those of you mungkin mendengar just starting on your journey, ataupun ada ramai yang mendengar podcast kita ni, kadang-kadang dia cuba fikir because tiba-tiba dia risau anak dia mungkin akan mendapat diagnosis and things like that. So I think I want to mention that for OP, I'll plug you, kakak, because I love OP. Obviously, I'm an OP. We are OP families. There are certain kursus and you see the price and it looks really sort of expensive, but this is not the only thing that is offered. Your screening tab, right, from the OP website, you can start to do free screening. This is not official diagnosis, but you can already get, and this is for everybody. So today, sebagai contoh, I got a question. Yelah kita sebut tentang maybe community yang pendapatan isi rumah yang lebih rendah, B40 and things like that. Tapi macam mana kalau refugee? Right? So we do. I mean, Malaysia has a refugee community. And sometimes they don't have access to a lot of things because they are not Malaysian citizens. Malaysian citizens ni very, very fortunate. But there are things like that, thanks to resources online, internet, like the OP tab for screening, that's available to anybody.
Memang betul. Actually, that is a response to ramai parents themselves, teachers. Mungkin dia masih belum tentu lagi So it becomes also a learning tool. When you go to the website, just go to screening, everything from autism to dyslexia to ADHD, which has been compiled from evidence-based screening tools. It was compiled.
It's all there.
It's percuma, and very interestingly, what surprised us, but what we want to encourage, many adults,
maybe their journey to diagnosis came from there, kan?
yes, went to screen, and then they will take either some action to go to a proper diagnosis. Tapi ini semua, as we are talking about cost, all these are available, and just be assured these information are private to the person who use it.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
Okay, so I have one question for all of us. Siapa nak jawab? So what about families kan that have to work full time, 9 to 5? Both parents are working. So how do we give them some kind of tips on managing time for training, managing costs, plus trying to spend time with their children? I know it's a tough one, but how can we give them some words of comfort at least?
Maybe what I want to encourage parents is this. Please do it at your ability. Don't feel pressured yang you akan jadi therapist. That is not the intention.
Betul.
Just be sure yang you learn what you are able, right? Be curious lah. I think that is the encouragement. However, I also find like all my adik-adik, when you sometimes have your peers just to nudge you sikit lah. Try lah. You may not be confident, but that's why you need community. Not only with your parents. We spoke about dulunya, build a relationship with the cikgu-cikgu, kan? With your therapist, so that they can stretch your kebolehan jugalah.
Yes.
Two ways, push and pull.
Thank you Kakak for that. It's a good reminder for me also. So maybe we can go around.
Your advice tadi must have been not very good. You said because you found all the kakak, saya nak cerita lah kat semua orang ni. Dia kata antara benda-benda yang sangat berguna pada dia dalam community building ni, dia dapat dia cari kakak dia sendiri, tapi lepas tu dia cakap apa?
Please find your own kakak. These are mine.
Boleh share ke?
Tapi we are all sharing via YouTube. So
Hello,
please watch.
kita family came together lah.
Yes.
So we are there to be other
Betul.
people's kakak also. Don't be, let's be so private.
Inilah antara kriteria adik yang tak pandai share. Yes, I'm still learning.
Subscribe to kakak, so please.
Betul, subscribe to kakak.
But not just the learning. I just want to tambah something because I am a natural. I love to learn. You know, a lot of fear is I have to beli ni lah, beli barang ni lah. Sebenarnya maybe consider involving anak-anak semua, just like craft tangan buatlah certain things, certain tools. That becomes part of spending time, right? And taking time off screen. That another topic.
Yes.
So many things memang boleh di craft tangankan sendiri.
Yeah, you know what? We literally just did that. Minggu lepas I did this thing. We're like tengah cari macam mana nak letak schedule baru dekat belakang pintu timur ni. So I was trying to think, dan lepas tu nak beli frame, tapi tak malam ni juga kita nak siapkan nak letak benda ni. So finally ambil sebab kita just nak gantung the schedule, ambil je yang yang clear folder yang biasanya office akan guna nak letak selit apa-apa untuk sign letak check whatever, benda tu nanti tebuk lubang and then just gantung like sideways, so you selit the paper from the side, put the hole, then we hung it out on the hook. That's it. That was the frame. That was the itulah yang kita gunakan untuk buat sementara. Dan lepas tu barulah tiba-tiba pergi online nak tengok apa yang macam cute sikit, cantik sikit ke apa. Tapi for now, that's the thing. Is there.
And kalau you pergi pin interest tu, There are so
Pinterest,
many.
yeah.
Pinterest.
Pinterest, yeah.
Pinterest.
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 There are so many resources.
Ideas, yeah.
Yes,
So many ideas kan, for sensory ke, for visual schedule ke, so many. Yeah. So that's why parents kan,
Tak perlu beli, kita boleh buat kita punya own sensory toys, messy
And
play.
this is why laminator is one of the items that should be in your toolkit.
Laminator. Okay. So dia pun kena melabur, pelaburan
Yes.
untuk membeli laminator.
Betul, yes.
Okay, antara benda-benda yang disarankan lah. Okay, bajet kita kecil tapi antara benda kita patut beli is laminator.
Yes.
is
So
it?
that's what actually itulah antara
Okay.
investment saya.
Oh, Didi
selepas
setuju. Didi setuju.
Didi setuju kan? Sebab Didi pun ada laminator kat rumah.
I still have it. Ada lagi laminator.
Yes. Very useful. So
Tapi
maybe-
kan
go ahead Didi.
Tapi Desiree, I think nak tambah jugalah kalau kan kita bercakap tentang low budget, tight cost and everything kan. Ada sumber percuma, pemata kurnia, mereka dah ada banyak sangat YouTube video dan
Yes.
kalau
Yes.
you attend mereka punya Facebook live ataupun YouTube live, suatu live sebab mereka buat hampir memang tiap-tiap bulan memang ada. You attend live, you boleh tanya soalan dan panel akan jawab soalan you.
Yes.
No, it's great and ini terbuka kepada semua ya. Ni bukan untuk student pemata kurnia sahaja. That's why it's really fantastic. I think they felt that they were so lucky. Let's share with everybody kan, because buat masa ni satu je pemata kurnia, we want more.
Yes. Even Rainbow
Ada
USM
dua sekarang dah ada di Putrajaya, dah ada satu lagi. Tapi interestingly kalau you register dan you nak datang physically kan, you boleh juga register untuk childcare, untuk anak you dijaga ketika you dengar the workshop. So it's an incentive lah. Tak payahlah cakap macam nanti tak ada siapa lah nak jaga anak saya, macam mana saya nak fokus, macam mana. So either you dekat rumah, you follow online live ataupun recorded, ataupun you pergi lagi bersemangat lah bila you attend physically, you bersama dengan fellow parents yang lain kan. And then you boleh fokus. Anak you dijaga oleh staff pemata kurnia yang kita takkan tak yakin kot dengan staff pemata kurnia jaga anak kita kan. So I think pemata kurnia is a very good resource, especially kalau nak cari dalam bahasa Melayu, local context. It may be not as cutting edge or sangat all this new knowledge macam kakak punya center. So kakak punya center memang bawa expert yang paling top di dunia.
Yes, latest.
belajar bersama-sama.
Awesome.
Ya, belajar daripada
But foundation, right? Core. Basic information that is critical. So you want to say something about Rainbow?
Yes. So Rainbow USM pun they have a lot of online free webinars.
Yeah.
Right? And they always promote it in the parent support groups dekat Autisme Malaysia. So yang belum mengikuti or follow Autisme Malaysia Facebook group, please do so. Right? Ada
And the Rainbow people.
And Rainbow
Buat masa ni, just a shout out.
Yes.
Rainbow had funding untuk some free peers for remaja for social training. Yeah. So
A program that has
Nice.
It's like a peer program.
that's right. It's called peers. It's social communication.
Okay.
Do
For
look
teenagers.
at it. Yeah.
Nice.
And another one that I noticed recently also doing free online sessions is AIM High, AIM High.
Yes.
These are
Autism
Initiative Malaysia.
Untuk dewasa, autisme dewasa yang
Self-advocate.
high ability.
Yes, high ability. Correct. And other resources like National Autism Resource Centre by UITM.
Betul.
The short form is NERC.
Yep.
And there are also some self-advocates that you can follow on Instagram like NeuroD. We will drop all these handles in our show notes later. So there's NeuroD, Aurora Autism and Minda Inclusive. And of course, two other resources I need to mention is Oasis Place, the screening. Look for the screening tab, and also Project Hans.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so with that we've come to the end of episode 50. Does anybody have any last words? Sila angkat tangan.
I think just nak ni tambahan kepada kakak dah sebut actually. Desiree pun ada sebut sedikit, but I think we cannot minimize the importance of making your connections again lah, that building community, find your friends. Tadi I usik you pasal cari kakak you, but no, it's actually very good advice. Please go and find your kakak or abah, whatever, kawan, cinggu for all those people like to watch Korean dramas and whatever. Anyway, please find fellow parents to connect with, because that peer-to-peer learning, the unofficial learning is where you learn a lot.
Yeah.
And kat sini lah macam Desiree kata, apa words of comfort kita boleh bagi kepada parents yang dah bukan saja kesuntukan, I don't know lah, everything terhad, masa terhad, semua terhad, and they just burn out. But that's where you need to find your semangat lah and your encouragement in other people, because memang tak boleh buat seorang kan. Kita selalu sebut pasal kita punya kampung ni kan, our village kan has to be the biggest one ever. So that is the same here as well. This is how you stretch your resource. This is what you do when you are bila kita rasa macam kita kekurangan segala-galanya. So kita memang kena bergantung harap kepada orang yang lain lah. So this is so important. You look out for these things, because it's other people that will tell you, oh, benda ni ada yang wujud dalam komuniti kita. Cuba tengok website ni, cuba ikut ni. So finally it will be like smaller things like that. And then you'll figure out all the different things lah. And please do look at the other episodes where we talked about the stuff, like we talked about kids gym before, that is where parents boleh menjalankan. For example, my kids, we rock the spectrum kids gym. You can do aktiviti terapi untuk anak. Tak semestinya semua aktiviti ni memerlukan pakai terapi. Ataupun kalau kita nak nak berbelanja lah sedikit, kita dapatkanlah assessment atau program daripada pakai terapi, tapi lepas tu kita yang buat, sebab kita tak mampu untuk buatkan selalu. So for example, antara the things that you can use, the 150 once a month is, one of it is, it could be that to go and see that therapist, tapi kita masuklah sekali, belajarlah, tengoklah apa dia buat, tanya. Kebanyakan daripada all the OT, speech, all this, go talk to them. Many of them, dia akan memang memastikan bahawa parents terlibat. Tetapi katalah kalau tak pun, bila kita bertanya, dia akan jawab, of course. Dan apa-apa yang kita sanggup buat untuk anak kita, all of them will give you homework. Sebab dia nak sesuatu, dia nak perkembangan lah, nak melihat perkembangan dan satu perubahan positif, apa-apalah dari segi apa-apa yang dapat membantu anak kita, dan they will help you.
Actually, I just remember for the assessment and diagnosis, there's one more resource. Ada university yang ada program untuk clinical psychologist tu, master program. Memang dia ada final year student ke that is under training, that is supervised by a already certified clinical psychologist. And we do that also in Oasis. And there are several private organisation di sana. Kamu boleh mendapatkan terapi
daripada mereka,
Assessment,
as well as assessment at a very reduced rate. Okay, so please,
because you're getting it from the final year,
because they are under training, and this is the gift back, and it will be supervised.
So you assessment ke screening ke kak?
Assessment. So yes, dalam assessment. So in Oasis we call this Cultivate. You boleh Google, and there are a couple or more of private organisation yang menyelia clinical psychologist master's program students.
Okay, so sekarang ni market rate private sector anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 for a full assessment and diagnosis sekarang ni kan. Kalau kita dengar jumlah ni menakutkan nak dapat tahu betul-betul anak kita pun ni, kalau nak ikut jalan dari segi perkhidmatan swasta, antara 3,000 dengan 5,000 ringgit. And that is just to give you a picture of what's going on with your child kan, belum masuk kepada intervensi and all that. So kalau market rate is that, what is it kalau kita berjumpa dengan ni? Is it like is it half the cost? Like what do you know approximately?
So let me share what is at Oasis.
Okay.
Kalau under clinical psychologist student trainee, the assessmentnya RM500. And for the therapy, it is RM100. So yes, and this
See my face?
Yeah.
Why didn't I
However,
know this before?
so
No,
this is done in two ways lah. One, it is in a way a outreach and giving back,
Okay.
but it is supervised.
Okay, so there's not really any drawback.
There is different. For example, some parents may need a full certified psychologist punya report for certain whoever who needs the report lah is the condition. But
Tapi untuk pengetahuan diri, it will be
It
a
is
proper
very
diagnosis.
in-depth.
Dia bukan screening. Oh, maknanya
it is actually
It's a full on.
diagnosis. Yeah,
Full on.
So berapa like berjam-jam semualah apa yang ni dengan questionnaire yang sebanyak mungkin,
Sebenarnya
dengan interview semua.
it's the same system. But remember, this is under trainee.
Okey,
Yeah.
dikendalikan oleh seseorang yang sedang dalam proses latihan tahun terakhir untuk menjadi seorang yang bertauliah.
Yeah.
Tetapi hampir bertauliah
Correct.
dan dia akan berada di bawah supervision
Yeah.
pakar.
Yes.
Yep.
That's great.
And this is not new. This is available in some of the private centres. Even for mental health, they do the therapy under supervision.
Ada long wait list ke untuk dapatkan assessment macam ni?
The wait list, obviously, because even the student at one time pun terhad juga.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that is a big difference
Yeah.
in cost,
Yes.
right? That
Yes.
is like
It's a good option.
it's
a really good option.
It's a good option.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good option. Okay.
Didi?
Can I share juga ada contoh kan, kalau di universiti di UKM ada satu pusat Saitra Klinik Psikologi dan Konsultasi PK UKM. So it's PSITRA Klinik Psikologi. Memang macam yang SK cakap, melibatkan trainee dan mereka ada yang discounted sessions, percuma pun banyak, perkhidmatan kaunseling percuma, perkhidmatan banyak counselling jugalah, ada counselling. I'm looking through their Facebook now, they have lots of free sessions. And then kalau berbayar pun dalam memang sangat murah, jauh lebih murah daripada di ni. Yeah, and then banyak juga ceramah. And then bila kita cakap pasal ceramah yang dah recorded di YouTube dan Facebook ni, yang dah lepas-lepas pun kita boleh tengok balik kan. So ada forum juga. So I think it's worth looking for lah, UIA, UKM dan juga lots of private centers kan yang ada trainee datang
Yeah.
buat training. Yeah,
I think look
so
for the
that's
university
one
yang
way.
ada program for clinical psychology.
Yeah.
Yes,
And yeah, that's
the good thing about our community is when it just takes one of us to know it, lama-lama everyone will know about it.
yeah.
Right?
that
So
can-
because I think
kongsi
our
sebarkan berita.
community has a higher chance of sharing what we know, sebab kita tahulah kita dah susah payah cari all these options. Kita nak as many people as possible because it's not for us, it's for our kids.
Yeah,
We want
betul.
other kids to benefit as well. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of our community kan.
Bersemangat
Yes.
Yeah.
bersama-sama.
Bersama. We are in this together.
We are.
So with that, we are going to wrap up this episode. Saya ingin mengingatkan semua orang, semua penonton that our live show is coming soon on the 15th of February di Wisma Peguam Negara di Raja Aziz Idrus Auditorium pada 15 Februari 10 pagi. Sekiranya anda ingin berjumpa kami in person, Didi pun ada. She's coming all the way from KK to join us. And to celebrate our first anniversary, please register via the Google form, which is available on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify.
Tak perlu bayar apa-apa untuk tiket ke apa-apa kan?
Tak perlu, ini pun percuma. Resource yang percuma.
Yes. Yeah.
So with that, thank you so much, and we would like to thank Abundant Ventures for your generous sponsorship. And thank you to all our viewers, and a special thanks to all our crew behind the camera who have been with us through this journey as well. 50 episodes is also a milestone for all those who have worked behind the cameras with us. So, terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Thank you and goodbye. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.